Hello, welcome back to Angel Messages Sunday. I'm so excited to be here with you today. I have a really interesting message for you again this week, like every week. If we haven't met before, I'm Julie Clough. I had a major spiritual awakening after the passing of my two youngest children. My daughter Carrie was 10 and my son David was 8 when they passed away in a car accident on Mother's Day in 2007, which led to my spiritual awakening to the other side in a way that I could not have imagined. In 2010, I began to, I wanted to share a little bit about like how I get these messages. So that's why I'm sharing a little more about this. But in 2010, I began journaling and very much like it was automatic writing where I was writing down questions that I had and then I was finding answers. A lot of that was just intuitive messages that I was receiving. And over time, that developed into a habit of just journaling. What would you have me know today? And just listening in. I was awakened to the angelic realm a few years ago. And a little over 2.5 years ago, I realized that I was a vocal channel and I could channel these messages. When I'm working with a client, a lot of times I'm connecting with their spirit guides, I'm connecting with my team and bringing through those messages like I'm talking to you now, and I'm just listening and interpreting and guiding from there. But the way that I receive these angel messages, for example, this message that I'm going to share with you today, is one that I sat down and I put myself into, like, I just relax into a meditative state and then I just hear their messages and I just speak their messages. So as I'm speaking the message, I'm having it transcribed and I'm recording it. And so that's how this message came through, how a lot of my messages come through. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just share with you paragraph by paragraph their message, and we'll talk about it for a minute. I would love to hear your insights on these messages. Before I even sat down to channel this message, I was hearing, now is the time. And the other message I was hearing in my head before I even sat down to start channeling was, you are being called forward into your own remembering. And sure enough, when I sat down and I was just breathing and I was just going into that meditative state. Sure enough, that's the message that came through. So I'll share that with you. Um, I am conscious when I am receiving these messages. It's not that I can't remember what they say. It's very conscious, like I'm very aware. It's like I'm in the room listening, just like you're in the room listening. That's how it is for me as I'm channeling. My consciousness is kind of put off to the side, but I'm there and I'm aware. And then these messages come through. So it's like it comes through me before I'm consciously um, you know how you receive information like right now. I'm trying to cognitively think through what I'm trying to say and then I'm saying it. It's not like that. It's more like my consciousness is over here on this side and the messages are just coming through. And of course, as always, as we all should, I'm only allowing in the highest frequencies, the highest level of guidance and awareness that we can receive. So, this is the angelic realm. They call themselves the Council of Wisdom. So, let me share their message with you today. It starts out with, we are calling you forward into your own remembering, into the remembering of who and what you are. For you are more than just what appears here in this form. You are more than the body in which you are encased at this time during this incarnation. This is so interesting to me because I think I've been aware. I'm just wondering what your experience has been, but I think I've been aware that, I'm a spirit in human form for a long time. The way that I was aware of that was a little different over time than it is now. But I love this that they're calling us forward to remember that, because how often do we get really, really entangled in the everyday life of humanness and we forget who and what we are? And they're going to go more into that. But yeah, that we're more than the body in which we are encased at this time during this incarnation, meaning during this lifetime. So they go on to say, you are far more than what appears to the eyes of others. It is this remembering that we call you forward into, that is this remembering that we ask you to identify with. Okay, I was going to go on with that paragraph, but I really want to just talk about that for a second before we move forward. It is remembering that we are more than what we appear. This is the identity. And instead of identifying with the personality, they want us to identify with the soul, with the spirit, with the higher self. That is our true identity. It can be a little confusing. I don't, what's your experience with this? Because I feel like it can be a little confusing, but when we're living authentically, we are more embodying the soul of who we are, the spirit of who we are. So let me just go on with this because I think they give us more explanation after that. So I'm gonna read that line again and then move forward. And it is this remembering that we call you forward into, that is this remembering that we ask you to identify with the soul in which you are, to recognize and remember that you are a soul first and foremost, and then you are this personality in which this soul has been encased. And we would say in which a particle of your higher self, your higher soul, has been encased. So they want us to identify with the soul, to really come into the soul aspect of who we are. And then this last part, they're giving us these little clues that our higher self, our higher soul, is it's a portion of us that is embodied in this space here. Again, this is maybe a concept that may be new to you, maybe it's not. Again, tell me in the comments, but this idea that there's an aspect of us, our higher self, which is still very much connected to the divine realm, to the heavenly realm, that is very much still in that space. And we have an aspect of that that's here now. And the more that we can identify with that soul, then we are living in a higher authenticity. Okay, and as I'm sharing this, I'm just thinking, we don't have to take this all so seriously. Like, I don't think spirit, I don't think God, the divine, whatever word you want to use there, expects us to be. Uh, a lot of times we associate the divine with just being in this meditative state all the time and just this, like, we're in the clouds. I don't think that's the way we're meant to live our lives. We're meant to be here, enjoying the experience that we're having here, but remembering that we have this connection, to this higher self, to this soul self, to this spirit, that at our very core level, that's who we are. All right, going on to the next paragraph. For again, we remind you that you are more than just the body in which you see when you look in the mirror. This is a fragment of the eternal. This is a fragment of the infinite in which you are. For at your core, you are light and divinity. Light and divinity. Remember that within you, you hold light and divinity. And connecting with that light and divinity will bring you into remembrance of your strength and power. 4 times, I thought what was so interesting about this paragraph is 4 times they use this phrase of light and divinity. That is at our core who we are, light and divinity. And remember that within you, you hold light and divinity. I just love that. And when I think of, like, Jesus, Yeshua, who walked the earth to show us who we are, in my viewpoint, again, let me know what your thoughts are, but in my viewpoint, he was here walking the earth to remind us of our light and divinity. And that is such a huge thing right now in our life, if we think about right, like right now, I'm just thinking about like the lifetime that Yeshua walked here and all the turmoil that was going on in that society. What a microcosm of what we're experiencing. Such a microcosm of what we're experiencing. And if we can embody the message that he shared of light and divinity, and this is who we are at our core, and it's really, really beautiful in my estimation. Okay, the next paragraph. For your strength and power will be called upon in the coming days as the earth shaking begins, as the destruction and deconstructing of your current physical existence begins to shake loose and fall apart so the new can be formed. For you are here to create the new, and it is remembering who you are at its soul level that allows you to be a part of the creating of the new. There's a lot here. This is not meant to create any fear when we talk about the earth shaking, we talk about the destruction, we talk about the deconstructing of our current physical existence. As humanity, we've gone through this again and again and again as we look at the different eras of history and how previous structures are undone to create a new life. We certainly can look back 200 years, even 100 years, especially 500 years, and we can see clearly how we're living differently now than we were 500 years ago as a human race. And so this is what they're speaking to. And we have the opportunity to not fall prey of the fear that will try to be stirred up. We see this. We see leaders that are trying to hold on to their power, and in trying to hold on to their power, they create more fear because a population that is fearful is easier to manipulate. And again, this is for entertainment purposes only, allegedly, just sharing thoughts here. Certainly, you have every person has their own personal power. This is what this is speaking to, and your own perspectives on this. And I completely honor your perspectives on this. But we are here, their message, the message from the Council of Wisdom is you are here to create the new. And it is remembering who you are at a soul level that allows you to be part of that creating of the new. I think really challenging, it's challenging to me as well. What's really challenging right now is we don't know exactly what the new is going to look like. So we are called into this place of trust and trusting our angels, trusting our spirit guides to lead us each individually and also as a collective. I'm not the only one giving these messages. There are many people giving messages that are similar and are profound and can be scary, but also are preparing us. And it's allowing us to remember that we are who's creating the new. So a lot of times, if a lot of times it's really easy for us to identify what it is we don't want. And there's many things in our community existence right now that I think that we would easily identify as something that we don't want. And identifying what we don't want, we can start looking at, okay, if this is what I don't want, then what is it that I do want? And start to move towards that. This is not about stopping doing what you're doing right now. This is about bringing forward your soul. Your soul is directing you. Your soul is leading you. You're feeling the call to pursue certain things, to enjoy certain things. So enjoy your life. Do the things that bring you joy. Do the things that bring you connection in that real, authentic way. All right, let's move on. So take a deep breath and feel the light and the divinity within you, bringing this light and divinity into your awareness. We would invite you to bring this light and divinity into your awareness on a daily basis so that you can live from that place even while in this incarnation. This is the call. This is the opportunity. This is our invitation. So beautiful. I love that they invited us to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and feel that calm. Like when you breathe, feel your whole body relax into that and go into your heart center and feel the light and the divinity within you and bringing your awareness and your intention to that light and divinity brings that into your daily experience. It's not that all the challenges just magically disappear, but it's that we are in a more grounded, safe space to receive at a soul level. I'm really understanding this right now in a way that they're bringing to me right now is this idea that safety is in our soul. And when we can learn what that feels like to feel safe in our own body, to really embody that light, to bring our attention and our awareness there, it makes a huge difference. Okay, the last paragraph. You are not left alone. You are so very loved. You are carried. You are supported in this shift and change. There is nothing to fear. There is only divinity to remember. And with that, we say goodbye. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I hope that you can feel this message like I'm feeling it right now. There is nothing to fear. There's only divinity to remember. To me, that just says it all. That we're supported, that we're loved, that we're carried, that it is the remembering our divinity, which helps us stay connected, which helps us to stay out of fear and to step into love. What a beautiful message. So grateful for the angels today, for their beautiful message. And again, in the comments, what are your thoughts? I would love to hear what your thoughts are about this message. Have a beautiful day. You can visit me at julieclough.com. I also love showing up not only on YouTube, but I also love showing up in Instagram at Julie Clough Coaching, same as the YouTube channel, Julie Clough Coaching. Have the most wonderful day. Talk to you soon.